this day would come.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the audio commentary of the revised Family Edition, the second in the Family Edition trilogy, which is big project me and my family are doing over the next, odd some years. So, oh boy, where do I start with this? So this is something that Rebecca and I, like when we first sat down and we said, we're going to be making this trilogy, we did come up with three movies, obviously. And movie two was going to be something drastically different. We were going to do, if we had a second child. The problem is I, in my personal life, underwent chemotherapy to remove a tumor that I had that was cancerous. And thankfully I'm okay now. But a side effect was I lost the ability to, have children in the natural way. So having kids is a little bit more difficult. And so we decided, let's just make movie two now, because this is where we would have done it, in our regular timeline when Jack was around 5 years old. We said that's when we would probably do this. This intro here. So, the movie begins with a prologue, just, very similar to the original film. Here, instead of Rebecca getting ready, like in the first movie, it's Chris, or I'm sorry, my character, Matt. And here we have him getting ready. You never see his face, just like in the original. And of course, we have a TBS song playing, blasting in the background during the credit sequence. So, this was one of the original ideas I had was, yes, we're going to use this song, we're going to do this, we're going to have this be a TBS thing. And I'm glad it came out. Like, that was pretty much how I envisioned it. So this is actually our first shot of the movie, was Jack and, him playing Mario Maker. And, of course, we cut to this. So the way we did this was, that's my hand, by the way, holding it up. Jack just did not want to hold up that hand. So I said, well, I'll hold it up. The way we went about doing this, this movie was, I really enjoyed the idea of messing with the timeline. In the first movie, we're telling the story out of chronological order. In this one, I said, wouldn't it be cool if, like, all this is happening at the same time? And we get to, just see it from different perspectives and stuff like that. And my wife was very much on board. So for each of us, I just asked, what do you want to do? And so Jack said, I want to be Mario. That's all he said. And I was like, okay, man, that'll make it happen. And so that was me, by the way, wearing a green screen outfit to hold up Jack to look like it was like wire work. To that too. That's me. Oh god, that's so meta. It's me holding Jack to kick me in the costume. That was fun. But so I thought, well, why doesn't he should get sucked into the game? Like, that'd be really cool. And I think it's like the best sequence of the movie, like, without question. So here we have Becca in her sequence, Sarah, her character. Becca, I came up with this idea and I pitched it to her because she wasn't sure what she wanted her character to do. And I said, well, you're always afraid of, or not afraid, but you don't really like memorizing dialogue. So what if we wrote you a section where, it's you like basically you're doing a VO. Like it's all internal, and we'll do random shots of you on the computer and things of that nature. And Becca was like, "All right, that sounds like a really great idea." This whole speech, which is an article here, Becca wrote it. She was very keen on that. She said, "Listen, I want to, write the speech. That's important to me." And uh, she so in addition to writing the story, she did write this dialogue here, all this that you're seeing. And what's funny is when we like, I was working on the drafts, and when I just left it blank, and I said, "Oh, can you, like, when I get to that part, can you give me your dialogue and I'll put it into the script?" And she said, "All right." So she submitted it to me. And then, like, when I finished the draft and she read the script, she's like, "God, I hate what I wrote." And I was like, "Really?" She's like, "Yeah, I fucking hate it. I'm gonna rewrite it." I went, "All right, go ahead. You can do whatever you want." So she went ahead and rewrote it for subsequent drafts, and I think she did like 2 or 3 drafts until we got to the final one for this. Oh God, excuse me, yawning on a commentary for this iteration. Um, yeah, this was obviously a lot more simpler than Jack's sequence, which was all green screen and a lot of different shots of people and costumes and whatnot. Here, Becca, is just typing, and I shot her in different angles. So this is really cool because, like I said, we're playing with the concept of all of us, crossing over and whatnot. So here, Becca talks to me, and we're seeing it from her POV, but like you can see the reflection of the thing. And that's what connects it all, by the way. Her yelling, like when you're watching the movie, you hear that and you're like, "Oh man, this is great." So here we are. I'm wearing a toupee in this sequence in this whole movie. I bought a toupee. I was testing it out, and then I said, "You know what? I want Matt to have hair." So I said, "Fuck it, I'm doing the toupee." And then I also had a fake nose ring I was testing out, and I said, "You know what? If Becca can have a fake nose ring, I mean a real nose ring, I'm gonna have a fake nose ring." The voiceover person here, the character of Dr. Frostein, played by Dr. Liam Frostein, obviously. Who is Dr. Liam Frostein? He's a doctor, obviously, because that's his name, Dr. Liam Frostein. And, he does a lot of VO work, and he's a pretty cool guy. Really into my films, huge film buff, and laid his talents for here. And obviously a real person without any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, laid his voice here, his beautiful Scottish voice. He's actually not Scottish, but he did a Scottish accent that I thought was fairly good for what it was. Um, yeah, this whole sequence, this was something I do on a daily basis. I do talk to my oncologist, and it's a lot more straightforward than this. This, I kind of made it a little bit more exciting, but this is obviously based on stuff I am doing IRL. Not as exciting as that dialogue. So here we have the same scene. This Rebecca's idea was, let's mess around with the angles. So if you notice, it's a little different. Some shots are pulled back, some shots are zoomed in more, and of course when she calls for Brandon, we have this awesome shot here of them, so you see it sync up. That was all Becca's idea, and I thought it was brilliant because originally it's just the same scene played again, and she's like, "Don't show the audience the same thing, like have some fun with it." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's true." So here we had the finale. The intention was always intro, the 3 segments of the family members all at the same time, and then which is like a huge act 2, and then act 3 would be this outro of all of us having this like family meeting thing, which we do family meetings, IRL. Not as often as it seems the Matthews do, but it was very good. Uh, Here, Becca obviously is very clearly reading the script. I fucked up completely with the eyeliner. The eyeliner with the eyeline. That was entirely on me. And Jack, of course, kicked so much ass. Jack was really, oh man, I have to talk about him. In the first movie he was a baby, so he did what babies do. He was a baby. In this film, Jack was so enthusiastic. When we were done making this movie, he told me, "Dad, I want to be in every single movie you do." And I went, "Oh man, absolutely!" And I kept that word. And in the newest movie I'm working on actually right now, which is Stabbed Your Attention, which is coming at the time of this recording, is coming very soon. So it might be out already, but he's in it too. Like I put him in there. I don't. I will always have room for him in these films, no matter how tiny or big they are. Whatever I could do. Here, obviously, he had a pretty big role, but his reaction was so funny because when the movie was done, he was just kind of like, "That's it. That's a short movie, man." And I'm like, "Well, dude, it's a short movie." He was very disappointed of how short it was. Um, Becca, of course, returning to help me edit in this movie. A lot of, if you see some really wonderful editing stuff, that's her. I will not take credit. She did a really wonderful job. Here we have this is the ending. We homage to the first movie where we slowly zoom out and it's our characters, interacting with each other, just like in the first movie where it was us cuddling and looking down at Brandon. Here we zoom out and fade to black, just like in the original ending. That was very important, that these movies kind of have a lot of similarities between them while being their own things. Well, wrapping up here, God, this movie goes by so quick, 13 minutes, and I feel like I barely said anything. Hopefully the other features will do that. Becca was very, you have to show, very much, you have to show all the credits of the music, and I said I need to do that, that's true. So I did it. Water bottle, of course, and all the other things, and Matthew's Family will return one last time. We're doing the final movie when Jack is 16 years old, so we have already actually started filming some of that, so be on the lookout for that. Well, and when he's 16. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the bonus features on this YouTube channel. Take care.